So now we're going to finish up this assignment and make sure that we know how to do everything so you're ready for the final test that you're going to have this school year. So let's just go through every problem. So here we go. We're going to find the area of a triangle. So to find the area of a triangle, I use 1/2 base times height. Notice it's written right here on your paper. So now I'm going to plug it in. The base is 11, and I know that because it comes perpendicular down here. So my base is 11. It doesn't have to touch it to be a base. Your height is always perpendicular. So 7.7. And now you're just going to multiply. 7.7 times 11 times 0.5. And we get 42.35. And it's in kilometers. And it's area, so it's squared. On number 4, again, a triangle, 1/2. Base times height. So 1/2. The base, it always comes perpendicular. So this is your height, and your height is 6. And the height always goes perpendicular to its base. So its base is 15. So we get 45, didn't leave a lot of room, meters squared. Okay. Number 5, area equals 1/2 base times height. So see how these are perpendicular to each other. One of them is the base and one of them is the height, and it doesn't matter which one's which. Feet squared. Always box your answer, it makes it easier. Okay, so we talked about the parallelogram as a pushed over rectangle, and the trapezoid, it's like it's chopped off triangle, so it looks like there should be a triangle right up here. Okay, so right here, parallelogram. And I know the formula for that is base times height. And remember, you do get points for showing your work on the semester exam. So you are on the final test for this unit, for Unit 7, so you want to show your work. Your base is always what it comes perpendicular to, so that's 15. What's your height? 1 foot. This was supposed to all be in feet, I think. So that's 15 feet squared. Or maybe it's all inches. Once again, I gave it in 2 different things. We did not read 2. So this is a rectangle, but a rectangle is just a straightened up parallelogram. So you can use length times width or base times height. They should have had this, but they didn't. So 7 times 72 is equal to 504 feet squared. Now we're going to do number 11. Number 11, notice, is just a pushed over rectangle. So this is a parallelogram, base times height. Now what is our base? Well, this side is the same measurement as this side. So that's your base, 2. Make everything feet. Your height always comes perpendicular. So that's a big clue. That's always going to be your height. 36 feet squared, because we're in area. We already did number 12. Number 13 is a trapezoid. So a trapezoid, I write down the formula, 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. So 1/2, your height is always perpendicular. So it forms that 90-degree angle. So I have 13. My 2 bases are 7.6 and 20. And I'm just going to add those 2 together. These 15s and 13.9s, they're just there to throw you off. Okay, so make sure you're paying attention and you know what's happening. So 7.6 plus 20 times 13 times 0.5, and we get 179.4 kilometers squared. Make sure you put a box around your answer when you're taking the test so I can find it. We already did number 14 last time in the last video, so if you want to see that one, go back to the last video. Calculate the area of the compound shape. So we're going to draw a line right here, because then I have a triangle and I have a rectangle. So here I have, this is 8, so the height of the entire thing is 12. Well, from here to here is 4, so from here to here is 8, because I take 12 minus 4. This side is also 8. This is 4. So to find the area of the rectangle, this area right here is 8 times 8, or 64. And the triangle is going to be 1/2 base times height. 1/2 base is 8, and height is 4. So that gives me 16. So I take 64 plus 16. So this is the triangle, is 16. Rectangle is 64. 80, I think, centimeters squared. Good. Here we have a prism. In order to find a prism, just like you did on this one up here, we're going to do the exact same formulas. Volume is equal to the area of the base times the height, which is length times width. That's the base times the height. So for this one, I'm going to make this the length, this the width, and this is the height. And it doesn't matter which one you call length and width, okay? It doesn't matter. Height, you need to kind of pay attention to. So I'm going to take 7 times 4 times 11. You don't have to use parentheses. Just multiply all this is all you're doing. So you're going to take, I'm going to get 308 feet. That's volume, so it's cubed. Sorry. To find the surface area, I was smart enough to write this down one time, this formula, so I'm just going to use this one again. And when you take your test, write down this formula, label everything so that make sure that you do not use it more than once. Okay, so I labeled it length, width, and height. Okay, height is the only one that really makes a difference, especially on the next ones, but for these, you can call it whichever one you want. So 2 times length times width. Notice I'm pointing at as I'm doing. 2 times the height times the width plus 2 times the length. Here's my length of 7 and my height is 11. So I'm just going to plug that into my calculator. Because I'm plugging it into my calculator, I'm going to do it twice. Okay, so I'm just going to go 2 times 7 times 4 plus 2 times 11 times 4 plus 2 times 7 times 11, and I got 298. Now, because I did everything on the calculator, I'm going to do it twice. So I take 2 times 7 times 4 plus 2 times 11 times 4 plus 2 times 7 times 11 equals 298. I got it twice. I'm good to go. And that's feet squared because I'm in area. On number 19, volume is area of the base times the height. It's a triangular prism, so my base is a triangle, so I have 1/2 base times height. And then, of course, I'm going to take it times the height of the pyramid. The height of my pyramid is right here. Always be able to identify what that is. There's my height. So now I'm going to plug it in, 1/2. Now, when I talk about base and height, I'm talking about this triangle. See how one is the base and one is the height. When you have a right triangle, it doesn't matter which one's which. So I have 26 times 28. Then my height, because my prism is on its side, it's laying on its side, this is my height of 41. And I'm going to multiply all that. Wow, that seems big. I got this number. I'm going to write it down because I can erase. I'm going to see if it's really right. Well, but these are kind of big numbers, so that would make sense. Yep. And that's going to be meters cubed because I'm on volume. To do surface area, I'm going to make my table. Okay, so to find the triangle. Now, if you're smart, you're going to write this information down here because this is all I have to do to find the area of it. So I have 1/2 times 26 times 28. I didn't leave myself much room, but 364. And this is the bonus. If you do this one, you've got this one. Yay, you already got 2 done. Now we're going to go through and do rectangles, and I like to trace over my rectangles. So I'm going to do my first rectangle is this front one right up here. And if you trace over it with me, you'll see what numbers you're going by. I'm going by 41. Oh, I'm going by 38.2, and I'm going by 31. So 38.2 times 41. I did not leave enough room, but I'm going to multiply these two things together. Okay, 38.2, and I get 1,566.2. Man, those are some big numbers. Why? The next one I'm going to do, I'm going to trace this rectangle back here. What numbers am I going by? Going by the height. I'm going by 28, but I also need this side, which is 41. So 28 times 41 is 1,148. Wow, this is a lot of area. And it's in meters. Now I'm going to do that last one, and the last rectangle I have is the bottom one. So I'm going to do this one right down here. Okay, my pen's dying. So I go by 41, I go by 26 right there. See, 41 by 26. So 41 by 26, I'm going to multiply those two. And I get 1,066. I'm going to add all that up. I got 18,604. I want to do this one again because it's so much bigger than these. So 38.2 times 41. Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's a decimal point right there. That'll make a difference. That's a decimal point. I didn't see that. So let's try this again. 364 plus 364. But I knew it had to be, something was wrong. So that's a decimal. This is 1566.2. I wasn't reading my handwriting. Yeah, that makes way more sense. 4,508.2. And that is meters, and it's area, so it's squared. Here we go, we have another triangular prism. So volume is equal to the area base times the height. My base is a triangle. Then I have it times the height of the entire prism. I've already marked the height of the entire, and I was wrong. That's not the height of my prism. This is the height of my prism. Okay, because the 5 is part of the triangle, and that's the reason these are kind of tricky. I always look to see what my triangle is. This is 5. So here's my triangle. So this has to be my height. Okay, so here we go. 1/2 base times height. And if I do it this way, then I am ready to do, if I put it in parentheses, then I know this is my area of my triangle, and I can use that for surface area. Times the height, which is 2. So that gives me 55 when I multiply inches cubed. So let's do our table. Okay, my triangle, if I'm smart, I've written it down right there. So I'm going to take half of 55, and I get 27.5, because this is 1/2 times 5 times 11. Whatever is here, it's also here. Now I'm going to do rectangles. These rectangles kind of get confusing. First one I'm going to do is easy. Right here. Look, right there. What numbers am I going by? 5 and 2. So 5 times 2. Yay. Okay. And another easy one is this one right down here. What numbers am I going by? That's 2 and 11, right? See that? So that's 2 times 11. That was 22. The last one you can't even see. It's this front side, okay? So if I have the triangle, I can't even, it would be like the front side right here. See, like this? It's the front side. So what happens, we just trace over what we're doing. Well, we have to go 2 by whatever this is. Well, what is that? Okay, and that's the one that we didn't put on here. So you don't even have enough information. Let me tell you what that is. Hold on just a second. This side right here is 12.1, and we forgot that, so just wanted to let you know that's 12.1. So to find that front of your face, so here's the front of the face, it's kind of angling off that way. You're going to go 2 by 12, and then it goes back up. So this is a 2 by 12, or 24. Now you're going to add all that together. I didn't have any room to write my answer. So add all that together. Hey, wait a second, that's a 12.1, so that's a 24.2. There we go. I got 111.2 inches squared. Okay. Did this one last time in the last video. So if you missed this one and you want to see it, go back to video for day 1. That was on Monday. Okay, now we're going to do another cylinder. Remember, with cylinders, we use the formula. It's just the same as the prism, area of the base times the height, but remember the base is a circle. So I'm going to take pi, 3.14, times the radius. They give me a diameter. So first I have to find the radius. Remember to find radius. I'm going to take diameter, divide it by 2. So I take 3 divided by 2, I get 1.5. That's my radius. Times my height, which is 6.5. Cylinders are usually some of the easier ones to do. You just have to remember to square this. So let me show you the keystroke on this one. You're going to take 3.14 times 1.5 squared. Right there, see that squared? It's squared. Times 6.5. Now, see how I did that whole big long thing? On the test, we'll tell you what to round to, but if in doubt, round to the nearest tenth, or check with me. Okay, so that's 45.9. This is volume, so it's yards cubed. Now, surface area, we again have a formula for this. We have 2 circles because we have 2 bases. Then we take the circumference times the height. So 2 times 3.14 times the radius squared. 2 times 3.14 times the radius times the height. So 2 times 3.14 times 1.5 squared, okay, plus 2 times 3.14 times 1.5, don't square it, times 6.5. This is the only radius that gets squared. So I got 75.36 yards squared. Now, if we sound rounded to the nearest tenth, that'd be 75.4. Okay, number 3, I'm going to do it, you're going to do it, and then we're going to compare answers. Go. On this one, notice pi r squared h, 3.14, but we had to find the radius. This is a diameter, so we had to take 9 divided by 2 and get 4.5. So I came up with 381.51 millimeters squared. Okay, good. Let's find surface area. And again, use this to refer to if you need to. Okay, go. Using the same formula, we're going to plug it in. Okay, make sure you square the r here, but not there. Okay, take your calculator and find that answer. Go. So when I used my calculator, I came up with the answer as 296.73, and this would be millimeters squared. Hey, did you see my mistake back over here? This is volume. Volume has to be cubed. Volume has to be cubed. Area is squared. Good. Okay, here we go with pyramids. Are you ready? Let's do this. So we have 1/3 times 1/2 times the base. Now I'm talking about the triangle down here, and I have a 12 by 12 triangle. So that's 12 times 12 times the height of the entire pyramid, which is 17. Okay, so we're going to multiply that on our calculators. I got 408. It's volume, so it's cubed, so it's inches cubed. Okay, look at this one. Again, I have a triangular base. So I have to use area of the base times height. So that's going to be 1/3, whoops, 1/3 area of the base times height times 1/2 times base times height. Then I'm going to multiply times the height of the pyramid. So I have 1/3, 1/2. Okay, my triangle is a 2 by 7. 2 by 7. And the height of my pyramid is also a 7. That's kind of confusing, isn't it? Now, on this one, you're going to get a repeating decimal. You probably get 16.33, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so round it to like 16.3 or 16.33 yards, and it's volume, so it's cubed. Now we're to a rectangular base, and when we have a rectangular base, oh, and if I'm going too fast, just pause it. That's the beauty of a video. Pause it and go back. Okay, so now I'm on a rectangular base, so that means I'm just going to be length times width. So it's 1/3 times 11 times 38, and the height is 10. Now what I do is I take 11 times 38 times 10, and then I divide by 3. So then I don't have to put a fraction at all. I multiply these 3 in, and then I divide by 3. That's the same as multiplying by 1/3. So I got 1393.33333. So it's 1393.3. What are we in? Meters. We're in volume, so it's cubed. Okay. 27, same thing. Go ahead and do that one on your own so that you get a chance to practice that one just like I did 26. Go. So on this one, it's length times width, and then it's my base is 16 times 10, and my height is 12. When you multiply, you get 640 inches cubed because we're in volume. Good. Now your next page we already filled out. It's in the notes 1. If you did not get these and you want to see it, go back to notes 1. You know what? I'll just leave it here for a second. Slowly go through it, and you can pause it. There's 28, 29 if you don't have this information. If you want explanation, go back to video 1 on Monday. There you go. Okay, now we're going to go into these. We already did one with vertical angles, so we're going to go here, and this right angle, so that means it adds to 90 degrees, right? So this is 2x plus 50 is equal to 90. I'm going to solve this equation so I can draw my line right here if you like to do that. But what number am I going to work with first? The 50. I'm going to get rid of the 50. So I get 2x is equal to 40. Now I have to get rid of the 2. It's connected by multiplication, so I'm going to divide. So I get x is equal to 20. So x is 20. And when they say a missing angle, I believe they mean probably this one. Well, that would be 2 times 20. So that'd be 40 degrees. Okay, number 33, look, it's on a line. If it's on a line, that's a straight angle, so that's 180 degrees. So we have 2x minus 7 plus 39. You always add the two angles together. That's going to be 180. Now you can combine like terms. We have a negative 7, and if you want, you can cross the line and change the sign. Negative 7 and a positive 39 is going to be 32. Okay. So I didn't give myself much room, did I? Subtract 32 from both sides. So I get 2x is equal to 148. Divide by 2. I get 74. That's x. But if they want the angle that's missing, they're talking about this one because that one's 39. Now, this we could have found at the very beginning, because if that's 39, this entire angle has to be 180 minus 39, because they have to add to 180. Either way, I can plug it in here, or I can just subtract. 180 minus 39 is going to be 141. Okay? That's this angle right here. Now these, what kind of angles are these on 34? What kind of angles are they? Hopefully you said these are vertical angles. These are vertical angles. What do I know about vertical angles? That's right, they're equal. So I just set them equal. And then I solve this equation. So x is equal to 28. Now look at this missing angle. Hello, it's this one right here. They're vertical angles, so it's 32. And again, you're always welcome to pause, rewind, whatever you need to. So look at this one, 90-degree angle. What are you going to do? Hopefully you said you're going to add them together and get 90 degrees. Now I'm going to subtract. What kind of angles are those then? If I add them to 90 degrees because it's right angle, right, these are complementary angles. They add to 90, so they're complementary angles. So now I'm going to solve that equation. Subtraction 33. Oh, that came out nice. Look, divide by 3 and I get x is equal to 11. The missing angle, well, I could have just taken 90 minus 57, or I can take 3 times 11 and get 33. That's what this angle is equal to, is 33 degrees. Okay, look at these two. Number 36, what do you notice? Hopefully you notice these are on a line. What does a line add up to be? Well, it's a straight angle, so it adds up to 180. So one angle is 22, the other one is x minus 5, right? X minus 5 plus 22, because 22 is this angle right here. Now we could find the missing angle right now, because we know the missing angle has to be complementary. These are, has to be supplementary. These are supplementary, they add to 180. So let's solve for x by subtracting, oh wait a second, hold on. Combine like terms, what am I thinking? These are like terms. So x plus 17, subtract 17, x is equal to 163. Wow, that's a big angle. So x is 163. If I subtract 5 from that, I'm going to have that angle right here. So I can, to find the missing angle, I can take 163 minus 5, and I get 158. Let's double check that. 158. Okay, good. With me, we only have a few more. Okay, number 37. Calculate the value of W and X. We already talked about this. Okay, first of all, this is a line. So if it's a line, it has to equal 180. So I can take 180 minus 148, and that's going to give me W. Okay, so I take 180 minus 148, and that gives me 32. So angle W is 32. Is 32 degrees. Okay, now this is a right angle, so this is a right angle. These are complementary angles, so they add to 90. So I can take 90 minus 32, and I get 58. So this angle is 58. That's angle. So if this were on a computer, you'd say X equals 58, W equals 32. Okay, number 38, we have vertical angles. We love vertical angles. So that's 18, that's 18. Now what we have to realize is these three angles add up to be 180. Well, we don't know two of them, so that doesn't work. But we know this one's 64, and this one's 18. This is a line right here, right? So these three have to add up to be 180. These three angles. Well, this is 64 and this is 18. So I can take 18 plus 64 and I get 82. But then the whole thing has to equal 180. So I can take 180 minus 82. And I find out that this angle is 98. Now I can use that information to find this angle. One is 18, another one is x. So if I write an equation, it would be 18 plus x plus 98 is equal to 180. And what I can do there is I can combine like terms. So I get 116 plus x is equal to 180. Subtract 116. And I get 64. So this angle is 64. So notice what I had to do. I had to go with what I knew. I knew vertical angles, then I knew this was 180 because it's on a line, so that's 180. Good. Look at this one. It's perpendicular. If it is perpendicular, that means it forms a 90-degree angle right here. So this is 90 degrees. So I have these three are 90. Well, that doesn't help me at all. I don't have enough information. But I know that this is a line. That has to equal 180, so these two have to equal 180. So 138 plus W equals 180. So I can subtract 138. And I get W is equal to 180 minus 138. And I get 42. That's W is 42. Then I know these three have to add up to 180. So 19 plus 42 is 61, and I can take 90 minus 61 and get that other angle of 29. This one's 29. I think we had that one on our homework. It looks really familiar. Okay, last page. You're going to like this page. This is one of your favorites. Remember, the angles add up to 180. So I take the two angles, add them together. So I take 70 plus 25, gives me 95. Three angles add up to 180. So I take 180 minus 95. Okay? And I get 85. So do this next one, go. So I'm going to take 48 plus 84. I'm going to add those two together. I get 132. So I added those. Now I'm going to take 180 and subtract because all three of them add up to be 180. And I get 48 degrees. Okay? You do the next two, go. 42, I added the two angles together. Remember, this little box means it's a 90-degree angle. So 49 plus 90 is 139. I subtract and got 41. Over here, I added 81 plus 68 together. When I add 81 and 68, I get 149. Okay, that's when I add those two together. Then the whole thing has to equal 180. So now I subtract and I get 31. Okay. So hopefully this helps and you're going to be ready for that test. Go through this. Make sure you understand how to do it. And if you want to ask questions, If you're taking the exam on Wednesday, you can come before school and ask me questions. So if I don't have you in class on Wednesday, if you're taking the final on Wednesday, come in and ask me before school. Great. Thank you so much, and I hope this helps.